him. I'll say the last 5 years. It's hard to believe it's been that long. But I'm sure he's got something to say that will touch each one of you, no matter what your age. You know, we've been talking in Sunday school about being a better Christian, growing spiritually, growing in the Word, growing through prayer. We all need to be growing, though. Amen. So we need to be making better choices, better decisions. Everything we do in life affects where we're going to spend eternity. Amen. And Kenny's going to come and talk with you. I have no clue what he's got on his mind. But y'all give him your undivided attention. Yes. And let him know you appreciate him, okay? Amen. Let's all give him a hand.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Can everyone hear me? I'm not going to use that microphone to talk. I'm Kenneth Bamberg. I'm married. My wife is Rhonda. We have 2 children, Justin and Brandon. When I was talking to Miss Joyce a while back, saw Miss Joyce, we were up at the courthouse, and she said, Kenny, would you mind coming just to come out to the church and just talk to some of the young folks and everybody that's there? And I felt really, really honored and humbled to be asked to come and speak to particularly young folk and the church. Because the young folks are our future.
That's right. Amen.
See, we're planting that seed today.
That's right.
And what we as parents and adults, cousins, aunts, uncles, grandparents, we've got to help cultivate and get that seed to grow. Amen. So it's really important that we invest in our kids, because truly our children are our future. Amen. And when you start talking about goals to the younger folks here, and when I say younger, you know, my wife told me, she said, you better not ask anybody their age when you go there and speak. So I'm not going to ask anybody their age. But when we start talking about goals, all throughout life, we say we want to set goals for ourselves. And oftentimes, and what I heard interesting was what the pastor said about that, you know, we say we're going to do this and we're going to do that. This is what I want to do with my life. But oftentimes, we're forgetting about the one most important person that can help make all this happen. Right? We say that we can do it on our own. And we believe that. And we don't realize it. And at some point, our eyes are going to open. And we're going to realize that we can't do it alone. Right? And that all things will be possible through. Right? So when we set goals, and we say we want to do this, or we want to do that, right? I'm gonna pick on the young man that I first met when I came up the steps. I said, what do you want to do? What do you plan on doing with young?
I plan on going to college to play football.
Going to college to play football. That is super. So he's got some goals. And he knows, and because of his upbringing, I know that they're going to do that strong reinforcement. All right? That you know you need him to get you through all that. But oftentimes, we say, this is what we want to do. Right? When your words speak louder than your actions, you're not going to be able to make it happen. So we can give lip service, and we do it all the time. We say, oh, I'm going to do this, oh, I'm going to do that, but our actions are totally different. They contradict what we're saying and what we want to do. Free will, your choice. That's what God gives us. He gives us the ability to decide, to choose. And He's going to let us. Now, He'll throw us some subtle hints, and He'll say, you know, hey, listen, you know, if you say, you know, hey, this is what you want to do, you know, He's going to tell you, well, you know, maybe you need to change your direction. And I say, sometimes, if you don't change your direction, you're going to end up exactly where you're going. Right? So, I'm going this way, this direction that I'm going. This is not a good direction. If I don't change my direction, I may end up exactly where I'm headed. That's right. Which is not the direction that I intended to go in. Choices. Choices. We can start down this path. You're going to reach a point in your life where you can go to your left, or you can go to your right. You can do the right thing, or you can drift off and you can just say, hey, listen, I'm just going to go ahead and just throw caution to the wind and do my own little thing out here. We all are going to stray. We all have strayed. You know, I can tell you from my personal experiences growing up as a child, thank God He came into my life and He set my life to me, or else I would not be here today. I can tell you that right now. The light came on, it was like, hey, I can't do this alone. And you can't. And He is the only person that can help you. You know, that's not going to be your friend. You know, that's going to be there. You know, you can talk to him, and that's great. Your friends are going to be there to help you. You've got your parents that are going to be there, grandparents, your pastors, your aunts, your uncles, right? It's great to talk to them, but you also need to talk to Him, because He's the one that's going to go ahead and deliver you and see you through. Change where you're headed, because you might end up exactly where you're going. We start talking about words. Our tongue, this is the sharpest weapon in the world. It's right here. I always like to tell people, I say, well, you know, and I didn't coin this phrase, but, you know, this is just something that has stuck with me and that I've heard. You know, they say before you say something, ask yourself these three things. First, is it true? Is it necessary for me to say it? And is it kind? Is it true? Is it necessary? Is it kind? Right? If it's not true, then there's no need to say it. Right? Because the only thing that you're doing, you know, the devil, I like to say the devil is busy. He's always here. You know, the devil is everywhere. Right? And he's always there tapping your shoulder and saying, hey, kid, come on, let's do this. I can't do that. You know, knock him off my shoulder. Right? But the devil is there, you know. Somebody will do something to you or do something that just kind of gets under your skin a little bit, you know. And the first thing you want to do is you just want to give them a piece of your mind. Think about it before you say it. Right? Because once it comes out, you can't take it back. You know, I like to say life is not like golf. You don't get a mulligan. You can't get a do-over. Chris knows about those. He's got a bag full of them. He's full of mulligan out on every hole. But is it true before you say it? Is it necessary for you to say it? And is it kind? And if it's not, then there's no need for you to open your mouth and none of that. Sometimes it's just best not to say anything than to say something at all. You know? Sometimes it's just best just to say, okay, just put a smile on your face and take one for the teeth. Right? Say thank you, Jesus. For the younger kids in here, and pardon me, I mean no harm when I say kids. I say the younger adults and the younger persons in here, and everyone else. You know, you go to school, and you're going to school for one reason, and that is to get an education, right? Because your teacher's going to be there to try to teach you, to help prepare you for life. So your teachers are there to assist and help us parents. The teachers are there to assist and help the grandparents, right? Because I still believe, and a lot of people say, no, it doesn't, but I believe it takes a whole village to raise a child, especially in this day and age. You know, you think about it. I heard the gentleman tell us about the young kid that did what he did, shot himself. You know, back in the day, you know, it was if a neighbor or anybody saw me do something, man, I was going to get it twice. They were going to get me, and then when I got home, my mom or daddy was going to get me. So I got the double whammy from it. But see, we've gotten away from that because this is my child, and I don't want nobody to put their hand on or say anything to my child. Well, you don't have to lay hands on the child. Go back and let the parent know. Oh, you won't believe what I saw little Johnny do, because 9 times out of 10, mom, dad, grandma, grandpa, wherever the child's standing, they don't know what little Johnny's doing. And little Johnny's not going to run back home and tell you, guess what I did today. Right? I was supposed to be in school, but I went ahead and we took a little joyride and we did this and we did that. But you've got to reach out. You've got to reach out to your family. You've got to reach out to people that you trust. I tell anybody, when my kids were growing up, and even to this day, if you see my child doing something that he shouldn't do, You tell him, you correct him, and then you let me know.
That's right.
My oldest is 24, he'll be 25, and my youngest is 22. And to this day, anybody see my children doing anything, please let me know.
Yes.
Right? Because they will always be your children.
That's right.
And we will always be parents, we will always be grandparents, we will always be entrusted to trying to help shape them and to keep them on that path that they're supposed to be taking. That's walking down the right way, the right path. So it does take a village to raise a child. It takes churches to be involved. Right? And you've got your churches, you've got your families, but you've got to have God in your life.
That's right.
Right? Now, we can't make, I like to tell them, I say, well, my mom had made me go to church. And I stop and I think about that when I was growing up. They made us go to church. We had no choice. Now, I had to physically be there. But at some particular point in my life, my eyes had to open up and I had to realize the purpose of my being there. Right? So at some particular point in my life, I don't know exactly when it was, but I realized, hey, I know I'm here because every Sunday they tell me I've got to be here, but I started getting a little something out of it. You know what I mean? And then that light starts to click and you're like, oh wow, this is actually kind of neat, And then you realize the true reason of why you're there and what you're there for. And once you can reach that point, you can understand that, right? Life is going to get much easier for you. So you as parents that are here with your children, I applaud you, and I ask and encourage you to stay involved in your child's life. Try to keep your child involved in the good things in life, because there's so much bad and negative that's out there, right? Trouble is the easiest thing in the world to get involved in, right? And it'll take you forever to get out. It'll take you forever to get out, right? So stay involved. Have that discussion, with your brothers, your sisters, your aunts, your uncles. Hey, listen, hey, if you see Jimmy out there doing something, please let me know. Yeah, I tell you, I said, and we as grown-ups, we've got that maturity level to know. As far as, they say, well, I can't discipline my child. I can't beat my child. You can? Yeah, spare the rod, spoil the child. That's what they always told me. Come here, boy. But you got to remember, though, there's a difference between discipline and abuse.
That's right.
Yes, it is. You have to have discipline in your life. If you don't, then you are setting that child up for failure.
That's right.
Because you have to have rules, boundaries. You have to have those established in life. And younger folks, as they're coming up, they need to understand that life is not going to cater to them. That they're going to have to play by the rules. There's going to be certain things that they're going to be required to do. May not want to do it, but they're required to do these things. And then you talk about your reputation. And I love to talk about reputation, because a reputation can be a good thing, or a reputation can be a bad thing. It's all what you make. And I ask you, what type of reputation do you have? Think about it. Right? If you've got a reputation that maybe it needs to be one of those where you got to change the direction. We all have to do it at some time. We all have to do it at a time. I catch myself all the time. I start to head somewhere and think, oh, not a good thing to do. Because that's that devil on my shoulder. I won't tell. But the devil is out there and he's alive. Right? He's going to be trying to get you, see, because he wants you to join his army.
That's right.
Right? That's what he wants. He wants you on his side. Right? He wants you to forget about this side. Everything that we've got to look forward to when we leave this place. We're not going to be here forever. This is just where I like to say we're trying to make our bed. We're trying to make our bed. He's kind of just letting us go ahead and say, okay, Kitty, what in the world were you doing? Because I've got to answer for myself. I can't answer for you. I can't